My name is Anna. I'm 28 years old. I am a writer. 1 year ago, I moved to a small, quiet town called Maplewood. I needed silence to write my book, but silence can be lonely. I wrote every day. I had no friends, no one to talk to, no one to laugh with. Then, 6 months ago, I met Sarah. It happened at the local grocery store. I was carrying too many things. My bag fell. Apples, carrots, and bread rolled across the floor. I felt embarrassed. Then a woman came to help me. She had warm eyes and a big smile. "Here you go," she said, handing me an apple. Her name was Sarah Collins. We went to a coffee shop next door. We talked for 2 hours about books, about life, about loneliness. It felt like we had known each other for years. After that day, Sarah and I became close friends. She invited me to her house for dinner. She introduced me to her book club. She made my lonely life feel warm again. Sarah was married. Her husband's name was Daniel. He worked in the city. He traveled a lot. He was rarely home. I never met him. "He's always busy," Sarah told me, "but I love him very much." I nodded and smiled. I was happy for her. 3 months later, I finished my book. I was excited and nervous. I sent it to many publishers. Most of them said no. Then one publisher replied, Morrison Books. They loved my writing. They wanted to meet me. I took the train to the city. I wore my best dress. My hands were shaking. The publisher's name was Daniel Morrison. When I walked into his office, I stopped. He was tall and well-dressed. He had kind, intelligent eyes. He smiled when he saw me. "Your writing is beautiful," he said. "You have a rare talent." I felt my face grow warm. We talked about my book for 2 hours. Daniel understood every word I had written. He understood me. He made me feel seen. Before I left, Daniel said, "I want to work with you personally." I signed the contract that day. After that, Daniel and I met often, sometimes in his office, sometimes at small cafes in the city. We talked about books and art and life. He told me he felt stuck sometimes. I understood that feeling very well. I started to fall in love with him. I told myself it was okay. Daniel did not wear a wedding ring. He never talked about a wife. When I asked about his weekends, he said he stayed home alone or worked more. I believed him. One rainy evening, Daniel walked me to my hotel. I was staying in the city because my train had left. We stood outside under an umbrella. The rain was soft and quiet. Daniel looked at me with gentle eyes. "You are the best part of my work right now," he said. "You are talented. You are wonderful." My heart was beating fast. That night, we had dinner together. After dinner, we stood outside the hotel door. Daniel looked at me for a long moment. Then he kissed me. I kissed him back. We spent the night together. In the morning, Daniel smiled at me. "I have not felt this way in a long time," he said softly. We spent the whole day together. He left in the evening. He kissed my forehead at the door. "I will see you next week," he said. For 2 months, we met like this. We laughed, we talked, we pretended we were just two people in love. I was happy, but deep inside, something felt wrong. I did not listen to that feeling. Then, one Saturday morning, I went to Sarah's house for coffee. I hadn't seen her in 2 weeks. I missed her. She opened the door with a big smile. "Anna, I have wonderful news," she said. "Daniel is home for the whole weekend. Come inside. I want you to finally meet him." My heart stopped. I walked into the kitchen slowly. A man was standing at the counter, making coffee. He was tall and well-dressed. He had kind, intelligent eyes. He turned around. It was Daniel, my publisher, the man I had spent last night with. The room went silent. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't speak. Daniel looked at me. His face turned white. He said nothing. Sarah looked at both of us, still smiling. "Daniel, this is Anna, my dearest friend. Anna, this is my husband, Daniel." Husband. The word hit me like a stone. I sat down at the kitchen table. My legs were shaking. My mind was screaming. Daniel was Sarah's husband, my best friend's husband. I stayed for only a few minutes. I said I was not feeling well. I left quickly. I walked home in the cold. I could not cry. I could not think. When I got home, I called Daniel. "We need to talk," I said. My voice was very quiet. "Anna," he started. "No," I said. "We should never talk again." He called me many times. Finally, I agreed to meet him once. We met at a cafe far from town. Daniel sat across from me. He looked sad and tired. "I am sorry," he said. "I should have told you from the beginning. I was selfish. I was wrong." "Why didn't you tell me?" I asked. He looked down. "I don't know. I was weak." "I'm done," I said. He nodded slowly. "I understand." He stood up. He looked at me one last time. "I will always remember you." Then he walked away. 2 weeks later, Sarah came to my apartment. Her eyes were red. Her face was full of pain and anger. Before I could speak, she slapped me. "I trusted you," she said. Her voice was shaking. "You were my only friend. You were the one person I trusted." "Sarah, I didn't know," I started. "Stop," she shouted. "Do not lie to me." She did not listen. She did not want to hear my words. She turned around and walked out. The door slammed behind her. The room was silent again, but this time the silence felt very different. Daniel and Sarah stayed married. They went to counseling. They tried to fix what was broken. I stayed in my apartment, alone. I wrote every day, morning until night, like before. But this time, the silence was not just lonely. It was full of shame, full of regret, full of a name I could not stop thinking about. Sarah. I had not known, but the pain was real. Her pain. My pain. Some mistakes cannot be explained. Some sorries cannot be heard. I was a writer who understood the hearts of strangers in books, but I had failed to understand the heart of my only friend. And I would carry that with me for a very long time.